Today on the CTV News at 5, brutally cold. How much colder we can expect it to get. Plus, community in shock. How the tight-knit town of Vulcan is coming to grips with the murder of a 77-year-old man. And why some U of L researchers are starting a new institute for small business.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. It's the coldest it's been all winter. We're seeing highs of -25 and lows of -40 with the wind chill. Southern Alberta remains under the grip of Arctic outflow, plunging into temperatures that are dangerously low. Right now with the wind chill, it's around -30 degrees. That's colder than in Resolute in the Arctic. The deep freeze is expected to last for most of the week. Tonight, there are a number of wind chill warnings in effect in southern Alberta. Environment Canada says with the wind chill, it'll feel more like -40 to -50 tonight. It's for the communities of Lethbridge, Taber, Milk River, Cypress Hills Provincial Park, Foremost, Crow's Nest Pass, Pincher Creek, and Waterton Lakes National Park. And the warning extends into southeastern BC, where the wind chill there will make it feel more like -35. That warning covers Elk Valley, Yoho Park, and Kootenay Park. The Crow's Nest Pass, it's getting a double whammy. Along with the wind chill warning, they are also under a snowfall warning. The Pass, Pincher Creek, and Waterton could see an additional 10 centimeters of heavy snow. And Highway 3 remains closed this afternoon in both directions from the Alberta border to Sparwood until further notice because of the weather. The highway is closed due to high winds and limited visibility from blowing snow. It's been closed since Monday night and is causing big backlogs of traffic. Road crews are continuing to assess the situation and will reopen the highway as soon as they can. And last night's cold weather means Alberta has set a new energy consumption record. Over 10.5 thousand megawatts was consumed at peak time. And Max is reminding everyone to wait until off-peak hours, which is after 7 p.m. to do chores like laundry and the dishes. Okay, Dory Rossiter, it's going to get cold.
Before it gets better, yes. It is going to get down. You mentioned the wind chill values tonight, -50 wind chills to areas to the north. Here, -45 is what we're looking at. Just a trivia note, Saskatoon this morning at 7 a.m. was -38 degrees, and that was without the wind chill factored in. So we've got this cold, dense air over us for a couple of more days. Then we're going to start to pull out as we head into Friday. It's going to be a windy weekend. Can you say Chinook?
Oh, we like the sounds of that, Dory. Thank you. Well, residents of Vulcan are feeling a sense of shock and disbelief today. Those who knew Otto Bunty Luce say the 77-year-old was kind, trusting, and didn't deserve what happened to him. But even those who didn't know Luce personally have been shaken by the tragedy. Terry Vogt reports.
Local residents describe Vulcan as a small, tight-knit community. So for many people here, details surrounding the kidnapping and murder of 77-year-old Bunty Luce are both shocking and disturbing.
Very shocking, really. And I think that's really where most of the people are in town today is in a bit of a state of shock. That something like that could happen to somebody that they know.
It's unheard of, and especially for a small town. Actually, my prayers and thoughts go out to the families. That's all I can say.
Oh, well, I think it affects everybody, no matter where you are, that, everybody's vulnerable.
The main suspect has a very extensive criminal record.
RCMP allege Bunty Luce was abducted from his home and murdered. His body left in a remote wooded area near Claire's home, where it was located by investigators on Saturday afternoon. Police believe Luce had been targeted solely for financial gain.
He is one of our most vulnerable sectors of our society. He's 77 years old. He lives on his own. Our investigation has shown that he was befriended by the main suspect.
Vulcan Mayor Howard Dirk says that's the beauty of a small town, that people are often open, friendly, and trusting, sometimes too trusting.
And it's like you lose a little bit of your innocence every time something of this nature happens. You're not quite as trusting as you were a few minutes before, and you lose what you really is very valuable.
Those who knew Bunty Luce say he spent much of his time at the Vulcan Hotel, visiting with friends in the coffee shop or bar. His daughter owns a clothing store and salon across the street. Friends are keeping the doors open while the family grieves. Jessica Lepp works at the store.
I was just like, can't believe it. I'm just really worried about my boss because she's like family to me.
The mayor says with many longtime residents, Vulcan is almost like one big extended family. A family that right now is feeling profound loss. Terry Vogt, CTV News, Vulcan.
There is no word yet on funeral arrangements. And we're learning more about the two people accused in Luce's death. The Claresholm couple was arrested yesterday. This is exclusive CTV video of a very pregnant Bobby Jo Parks being taken out of the Claresholm RCMP detachment by her mother just earlier this afternoon. She is charged with obstruction of justice. The 28-year-old has been released pending her next court appearance. Her common-law husband, 35-year-old Timmy Engel, is charged with murder and kidnapping of Bunty Luce. He'll be back in court next week. He was already facing forcible confinement and multiple serious assault-related charges for a Fort Macleod domestic incident and was out on bail at the time. Medicine Hat police have charged a second woman with first-degree murder in the death of a Gas City man last spring. The body of 48-year-old Casey Armstrong was discovered last May in a trailer park on Medicine Hat's south side. Autopsy reports confirm that Armstrong was stabbed to death. Police believe the stabbing was planned and deliberate. Last week, police charged 26-year-old Wendy Scott. And today, police charged 48-year-old Connie Oakes with first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. Officers believe that all three people knew each other. A law enforcement review hearing scheduled to take place today in Lethbridge didn't go ahead as planned. The purpose of the hearing is to examine public complaints about police officer conduct. Now, in this case, Kathleen Goodstriker filed a complaint alleging that officers used excessive force during her arrest and they failed to advise her of her rights. Well, today, Goodstriker told the review board that she was unable to attend. The board will now decide whether to reschedule the hearing or dismiss it entirely. And RCMP are looking for the public's help for information in a shooting incident west of Vauxhall on Saturday. Just before 9 p.m., gunshots were heard in a field near Range Road 185 and Township Road 130. The shots came from a white pickup truck with a light on the roof that was in the field. It's the second incident like this in that area over the past month. Well, Lethbridge police have charged an Ontario woman with setting up fraudulent bank accounts in the city. Officers say the woman tried to set up accounts under fake names at two different ATB locations, but was recognized by staff from a security poster. Remy Ayodeji made a brief court appearance today. She was released on bail under the conditions that she doesn't have anyone else's driver's license, social insurance card, or birth certificate in her possession. She'll return to court February 9th. Police say they do expect to lay more charges. Well, University of Lethbridge researchers are hoping to draw on the experience of local business owners. Dr. Gordon Hunter and Dan Kazakoff helped to launch the Small Business Institute at the University of Lethbridge today. The veteran management faculty members are hoping to show how small businesses can be big business for Southern Alberta. The Institute is studying an array of Southern Alberta-based businesses, looking at how they do business and sustain, thus becoming multi-generational.
We'd like the community to come to us, come to the Small Business Institute, and if there's research that we can do, then talk to us about that. We want to be driven by the community, by small business with regards to the kinds of investigations we do.
Now, through the research at the Institute, researchers hope to give students real-world experience in small business management, including introducing a small business minor option for management students. The City of Lethbridge is inviting you to a couple of public open houses in the next few weeks. City Council wants you to take a look at the proposals for a new community leisure centre. The facility would be connected to the Twin Ice Arena planned for West Lethbridge. The city says the facility will be geared more towards simple recreation with a much less competitive atmosphere than other athletic facilities in Lethbridge. Residents are asked to give feedback on what they'd like to see in a leisure centre.
We know that there's going to be a Twin Ice Arena over on the west side, but what else does the public want to see over there? Do they want a swimming pool? If so, what kind of a swimming pool? Do they want tennis courts? Do they want other sorts of recreational and cultural facilities there? So basically to find out, get a sort of a sense from the public, what would they like to see in a leisure centre?
The open houses will be held January 31st at Nicholas Sharon School and then February 1st as well at City Hall. They both run from 7 until 9 each night. If you can't make either of them, you can learn about more on the city's website. Southern Alberta's longest-serving MLA is retiring. Little Bow MLA Barry McFarland has announced that he will not seek the Conservative nomination in the next provincial election. McFarland will remain the MLA for Little Bow until the end of his current term, and he says it was just time for him to step aside.
Well, I figured after 20 years in provincial politics and 15 years county politics, over half my life and over 1 million miles of highway driving, it was time to let somebody else have a go at it. I think my family deserves to have a little time with me now.
McFarland was first elected in 1992. Well, the Horse Industry Association of Alberta is celebrating 30 years. They've come a long way from their humble beginnings at the University of Calgary. This week's Farm TV comes to us from their annual general meeting in Red Deer. Here's Mike LeBlanc.
The one-of-a-kind conference includes a trade show and numerous sessions that cover a number of topics of interest to horse breeders and owners.
We invite all members of the horse industry, whether you're a professional, whether you're a rider, whether you're competitive, anyone that owns a horse or thinks about owning a horse. We have topics of interest for everyone. We normally have business topics, we have training topics, and we have healthcare topics. So we try and this isn't strict, but we try and get topics to fall into these 3 areas so that they're of interest, like I said, to a wide variety of people. So this year we had topics on feeding for the foot, what's new in nutrition. We had topics on how to bomb-proof your horse, done by a member of the Calgary Police Service Mounted Unit. We had Andy Anderson talking again on training, ground manners, how to trailer your horse.
This year's conference attracted over 600 participants.
I think it's a big accomplishment to have a conference that has done 30 years. We have new people every year, but we also have people that have yet to miss a conference in 30 years, which is really special.
Planning is already underway for next year's conference.
Farm TV is brought to you by DA Building Systems.
Well, coming up, Dory's going to tell us when we can expect this cold snap to be over. First, though, here's a look at the markets. A lot of up arrows today.